Joe Rogan has seemingly abandoned everything he's ever believed in order to go from being a Bernie bro, wanting Bernie Sanders to win in 2016 and loving that, and wanting redistribution of wealth, wanting Medicare for all, wanting to tax the big corporations, tax the wealthy, wanting legalization, federal legalization of marijuana, wanting to end the drug war, you know, wanting these values that you could say are pretty progressive. Now, I'm not saying that he was like a gun control guy. I'm not saying that he was 100% like he was dyeing his bald head pink, you know, pink hair, whatever. I'm not saying that. I don't know what hair he has, pink pubes, whatever. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that he had a bunch of values and policy positions that were clearly defined from his endorsements of the past that were very recent, a very recent memory, that he had publicly espoused and even debated on his program, like when he debated Steven Crowder on the legalization of marijuana. That makes me see his endorsement of Trump and feel repulsion, because he didn't show a big alteration in views naturally throughout that time, that like naturally said, oh, I think Medicare for all is bad now. I think the wealthy shouldn't be taxed more. I didn't see that. What I instead saw, what I felt I saw, was a social club kind of develop, where the people around him started to be more and more and more of that Trumpian ilk, of the ilk of that party, of the ilk of that movement, and having people come on and tell him stuff like, hey, you know, the Consumer Protection Financial Bureau that brings billions upon billions of dollars back to consumers from scammers. Hey, actually, they're evil because they're like debanking innocent people, innocent billionaires like me, and people just going up there and just talking to him and lying to him like a crock of shit. And I don't even think that he's purposely trying to deceive his audience about this. I think he brings people on and genuinely has these people say this, and he's just like, huh, and he doesn't know any better. That's not necessarily an excuse to not go off at a different point and say, yeah, what I was told about debanking was a complete lie, and we should not be attacking one of the institutions that one of the few big reforms that we actually got after the 2008 financial crisis was the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And now we're going to scrap it. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to take it out back and shoot it. Because why? Because Elizabeth Warren? Because it's a tie to Elizabeth Warren? It's all just personality politics. We've lowered ourselves to the position of like streamers where it's just like, this streamer said this streamer. It's stupid. It's stupid. And so I think the social club around him has really impacted his perception. And when he talks about when he made the decision to come out and endorse Donald Trump, he talks a lot about Dana White. And Dana White is a big Trump backer. And he's been a big Trump backer for a while. He's a very wealthy man, owns a big business, likes low taxes, has been friends with Donald Trump for a very long time, even before he was really like deep into this politics game in the way he is now in 2015, 2016. He tried to flirt with it before, but not in the way that he ran then. Dana White was a big influence on Joe Rogan to get him to endorse Donald Trump. So I think the social club and the people that he's bringing on his show and the perception of the crazy woke left really pushed him for this, to have this backlash influence, the backlash influence towards what he thinks was the left getting out of control. I, of course, disagree with this perception of events. Not saying I agree with the Democrats on all things, but I feel that this has led to a point that is an abandonment of values that makes me question his basic, like, questioning his basic, not his basic cognitive skills, like, is he actually, like, mentally disabled or in a way that he can't, like, think? But no, I mean, like, makes me question his reasoning and how, and his judgment in trying to tie his values to policy, tie his values to who he's voting for, tying his values to who has power, or if he even has those values altogether anymore. Listen to him talk about Elon Musk and what DOGE is doing right now, which has gone in, gutted USAID, gutted the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, gutted a bunch of other US government agencies, completely unconstitutionally, because these agencies were created by Congress and they have the power of the purse, and you would have to go through Congress to abolish them. going in and accessing people's social security number, going into the IRS. This person was not elected. He's the richest man on the planet. Are there any privacy concerns here? And the constitutional concerns. And while all this is happening, this is the discussion that's going on Joe Rogan's program about Elon Musk.
What I worry about is how much this is where I get mad at the media for presenting this like, this is Hitler. We're having it notched up to 11 for the past 8 years. And now you've got this, because he was put in, it's almost like that energy has been transferred to Elon now. Because now, did you see the Elon protests? They're protesting Elon. They're literally standing out there with signs that say, arrest Elon Musk.
Listen, I guarantee it's organized. I guarantee it's organized by the same people that are going to lose a shitload of money based on all these discoveries at DOGE. There's no way they're not. If you look at what DOGE is uncovering,
what
they're uncovering with this USAID stuff,
what have they recovered?
A lot of that stuff was organizing through NGOs protests. They organized the attempt at getting Trump impeached.
I thought you were going to say killed.
They organized
like,
the impeachment.
That's come out.
They also USAID spent $50 million on the lab that invented coronavirus.
50. We don't know that this lab invented coronavirus. You don't even know. See, it's the social club of the stuff that he's being told on this show, or he's seen in his social media feed, that has so affected him so quickly. He's quickly made this transformation from Bernie bro to MAGAite. I mean, these protests were organized. It can't just be, hey, I believe that Article 1 of the Constitution matters. I'm an American, and I believe the fundamental documents that our country is built upon, that our republic is built upon, which needs to be maintained if we want the republic to continue past us, to have a legacy to pass down to our children, to have a republic that be passed down to our children so they can hold their own government accountable, and the government cannot just go about, arrest who they want, or let off their friends when they commit horrible corruption, like Eric Adams. But we have a republic that is held accountable to its people. And we have checks and balances, like an independent judiciary, which Elon Musk is currently putting under siege, which is another reason somebody might want to go out there and protest Elon Musk. Or they may be protesting Elon Musk due to his undue influence.
John Brown Enthusiast has donated $5. Dylan, have you mentioned the $400 million Tesla, Elon military contract deal that is going around?
Look, I mean, this isn't surprising to me. Like Elon's companies have done like $15 billion in government contracting. He is a big government contractor. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to work with the government. And he now has, through his access of the financial transaction services in the government, in the Treasury Department, the over $6 trillion that transfers through the Treasury every year, he has access to the transaction data for his competitors. And we don't really have any documentation of any monitoring or enforcement of like stopping of him to access that data whatsoever. And when Elon and Trump are asked of it, they say, oh, you know, if there's a problem, we'll do something. Like, it's all treated so nonchalantly. And it is because he's from this position outside of the government advising the president. There's not like any official guidelines over his head outside of like what would usually guide a presidential advisor, which he is well stepped over when it comes to accessing social security information, the Treasury Department, and gutting these institutions that were funded by Congress. Because what Elon is essentially saying is, what I choose to do by gutting these institutions is more important than Article 1 of the Constitution and the American people's votes. Because the American people vote for a president to represent the executive branch, and then they vote for a legislator to represent the legislative branch. The legislature, which is the one who allocates the funds, have not done this allocation. This is him unconstitutionally going around it. And what we're talking about is, oh, this was all organized by, I'm sure, the opposition. Yeah. He's the richest man on the planet. There are plenty of issues you can find with him. Let's listen to more. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to him go on about Elon Musk. Listen to this dog doo-doo defense.
Organization.
That's fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind three-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum, because he's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on. And
Smirnoff has donated $10. My idea is, you think Joe Rogan or Elon or even Trump are interesting until they talk about something you are interested in or understand. Then you realize those guys
don't know anything. Yes. It's all these drive-by experts, these gurus who somehow know everything about everything, but they actually know nothing about just about anything unless they've worked on it for decades. Joe Rogan knows quite a lot about MMA. He knows very little, very, very little about Ukrainian history or diplomacy. So I wouldn't expect him or people to go to him for expertise on that conflict. I would expect people to go to him for expertise on, you say, an MMA fight between, heavyweight champions. Same thing goes for Elon and, say, like space flight. But the problem with Elon is he puts his fingers in everything. He put his fingers in the cave rescue mission before calling the rescue workers pedophiles. He put his fingers in the Treasury Department. He's put his fingers in the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, American aid, the war in Ukraine. He's putting his fingers in the IRS. He's putting his fingers in everywhere. The U.S. Department of Education. He's putting his fingers in everything and everywhere, including things that he has direct conflicts of interest in. You don't think that the richest man on earth has a conflict of interest with an institution that's main job is to protect consumers, the very consumers which he profits off of, and him to unconstitutionally gut that? That is literally a robber baron going in saying, this institution regulates me, gutting it, killing it, and then walking out with no constitutional authority, completely illegally. That's where the arrest Elon Musk signs are coming from. My goodness. But I mean, listen, this justification $400 billion.
He's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems.
Okay, you can stop jerking them off. You can stop just trying to get them to finish all over you, okay? You can stop that for just 5 seconds. That would be useful. Okay, I know a bit about Ukraine. You asked me about Bhutan, I know nothing. Why should Elon Musk be managing the budgets of U.S. aid, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the U.S. Department of Education, of all these different institutions, also being micromanaged on the ground level by people between the ages of like 19 and 24, between volunteers and interns that he's sending out there to review career civil servants with 30 to 40 years of experience. We already know that, like, at the FBI and for top intelligence positions, people are being asked questions like, who were the real patriots on January 6th? Who really won the 2020 election? These type of loyalty questions, so they can staff these people not with like uncorrupt people. That's why Donald Trump's pardoning and trying to like get out or like trying to shut down the investigation into Eric Adams. The corruption doesn't matter. The corruption doesn't matter at all for the Trump administration. Look at the money that Jared Kushner got from the Saudis. No. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. What matters is control for Elon. What matters is not only control against those who challenge his interests, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, but also just general control over our government. Why do you think he gave Donald Trump all that money? So he could have this influence over our government. Now, whether he thinks he's doing it for laudable reasons, and he's doing it for laudable reasons or for ego or for whatever, he's doing it unconstitutionally. He's doing it illegally. He's doing it ignorantly, like he has done on many other issues in the past. Well, the unconstitutionally part is a bit of a change. And you just like think, oh, he's such a genius, dude. Like Usyk is a genius, man. Usyk, the boxer, man, he's a genius. I'm not gonna ask him or want him to do like a lecture on U.S. Civil War history. If Usyk came up to me and was like, hey, Dylan, I wanna make, I wanna design rockets. I'd be like, look, you're a smart guy, but like, do you have any history with? Do you have any experience with this? And like, that's not even where we're at. We're not even just talking about Elon's expertise or the expertise of the people who are choosing who these civil servants should be. And the firings have started. The experience is already being bled. That mass resignation attempt where they were trying to get people to jump ship, it didn't work. It got like a 10 to 20,000 people to resign, right? It was not even hitting the numbers of like how many resign usually every year, which is about 6% of the federal workforce. Now they're just firing. Now they're going over, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. They've begun that process. We're bleeding that experience in our institutions right now. Why should this guy be the one determining it? We didn't vote for Elon Musk. Nobody voted. I didn't vote for Trump either, but the people who did vote for Trump also didn't vote for Elon Musk. And the majority of the American people, when polled, say they do not like the amount of influence he is having in the government. So like, why are people protesting? Dude, just look at the polling data, man. You're not only in your social club and disconnected from some pretty key facts or getting disconnected from the values you used to hold, man. It just feels like he's like, in some instances, like disconnected from the rest of society. If you think like, why is anyone protesting them? Oh my God, it must be an op. Dude, get out of the conspiracy rabbit hole, man. There's other people out there who believe things differently than you. Trump went in with one of the lowest approval ratings for a president walking into the White House in American history. Not that crazy. It was 40,000 people took the resignation. Maybe some more people took it since I last checked.